Bigfoot, sea serpents, chupacabras, the Loch Ness Monster. There are thousands of cryptids and unknown creatures on land and in water that can pique your interest. But what many people don't know is that some of the most frightening and mysterious unknown entities do not live here with us, but instead prowl the skies above. Here are 10 mysterious, unexplained sky creatures. Number 10 is the Green Menace. During World War II, pilots and bomber crews flew on perilous missions to bomb enemy positions, but while up there in the sky, they encountered more than they bargained for. Many first-hand accounts describe strange green humanoid creatures breaking into aircrafts during flight. The creatures would then attempt to destroy equipment and in some instances even try to crash the plane. Though popularized at the time, even before World War II, these creatures were known. In 1923, a British pilot crashed his plane after a group of strange creatures attached themselves to the outside of the aircraft and forced it down onto the ground. Sightings of gremlins diminished after the war, but every now and then a pilot sees something strange floating through the sky, and the fear is that such creatures are still out there, waiting to return once more. Number 9 is the New York Devil. In 1904, one of the strangest encounters with a terror from the sky occurred during the night of June 22nd. It happened in New York, where a number of strange reports were being sent to a local police station in the Bronx. Reports were given by terrified citizens who claimed that a winged creature had swooped down from the sky to attack passers-by. At first, the reports were dismissed, but they could no longer be ignored when a police officer in the area was set upon by the same creature. In his statement, he said that the creature made a noise like a ghost, with a growl underneath it. The creature was reported to be nearly 2 meters wide, and the police officer who encountered it said that it was a devil with wings. Terrified, the officer was relieved of duty, only for his 2 subsequent replacements to be attacked by the very same mysterious creature. Number 8 is the Arang Beti. In Indonesia, it's said that a winged cryptid haunts the shores of the island of Seram. There, numerous people have encountered the Arang Beti, barely making it out alive from beneath its shadow to tell their tale. Accounts go back for some time, and descriptions of the creature describe it as a giant ape-like beast with huge bat wings. In the villages there, some mourn because the Arang Beti has swooped down out of the trees and carried people away for some unknown purpose. Guards are put in place to defend villagers as they sleep because the winged creature appears to be intelligent. It knows that it can swoop down through the roofs of homes there to snatch people as they sleep. In one terrifying attack, the Arang Beti destroyed an entire town, and many of the people there were never heard from again. Number 7 is the Woodstock Phantom. In 2019, a large winged entity was seen throughout Woodstock, Illinois. Initial reports indicated that what became known as the Woodstock Phantom was covered in fur from head to toe and had huge wings, which allowed the creature to glide silently through the night. Another encounter with this strange creature revealed that it was at least 2.4 to nearly 3 meters in height when standing upright on the ground. It was also described after this encounter as having skin made from leather-like material in places. Initially, people who encounter this creature often mistake it for Bigfoot, but when they realize it has large membranous wings and can fly, that theory is quickly abandoned. One witness claimed that seeing the creature in the flesh brought on a profound sense of impending doom, and that it was a harbinger of something terrible about to happen. Number 6 is the Redpterosaur. Pterosaurs were real animals which lived in the late Triassic to the end of the Cretaceous period. Scientists currently believe that these winged lizard-like creatures died out around 66 million years ago, but puzzling encounters with a similar animal have left some to conclude that it was still out there somewhere. In December of 1997, such a creature was seen flying over a densely populated area in the Australian city of Perth. Those who saw it described it as being between 9 and 15 meters across as it flew. It was also described as appearing to be reptilian and very similar in appearance to the pterosaur. This was not an isolated incident, however, and many such sightings have been made, including in Texas, where a police officer spotted a similar creature. When asked to describe it, he simply said, "That animal is not of this world." Number 5 is the Olitiaa. This mysterious winged creature allegedly lives in Central Africa. Experts have mounted numerous expeditions to find it. Lending an unnerving element to this search is that the local name for this creature implies that it is not an animal and is instead some sort of flying demonic presence which terrorizes locals. The Olitiaa is described as having a huge wingspan of up to 4 meters. Its body is jet black, but its wings are a dark brownish red color, making it sound even more like a winged minion of hell. It's said to be a ferocious hunter and that its lower jaw contains many long serrated teeth. The creature continues to be seen in parts of Africa, and many believe that the reason it has not been found by modern expeditions so far is that it spends most of its time living in dark, foreboding cave tunnels. Number 4 is the Chicago Owlman. Most are familiar with the legendary Point Pleasant Mothman, that winged creature of doom which appears right before something bad happens, but few are aware that Chicago has its very own flying cryptid, and it is just as frightening. The Chicago Owlman, also known as the Chicago Mothman, caused a spate of terrifying sightings through May of 2017. One witness watched a plane overhead in horror, realizing that a huge winged creature was flying beneath it for cover. The creature was described as having no fur and possibly reptilian in nature. Noted psychologist Dr. David A. Gallo reported in a Vice article that he believed the sightings were a form of mass hallucination. However, other investigators continue to be fascinated by many Chicago residents and their encounters with an unknown bird-like entity. Number 3 is the gigantic beast of Mendenhall Valley. In the remote area of Mendenhall Valley in Alaska, several eyewitnesses have come forward to tell their experiences of the beast of Mendenhall Valley. This flying animal dwarfs many other flying cryptids. Seen above Mendenhall Loop Road, the creature is estimated to be at least 6 meters across while in flight. In this particular instance, the beast's wingspan is said to be at least the width of the road, if not substantially more. After the initial report, several others came forward who had independently watched this giant of the sky pass by overhead. Another witness watched in horror on another night as branches from a tree were torn down by something enormous landing next to them. Some have been so afraid by the sheer size of this unknown animal that they have refused to travel through the area at all for fear of encountering it again. Number 2 is the Gargoyle of Santa Maria del Aguila. Stone gargoyles were once regularly carved onto the outside of holy places to frighten away evil spirits with their monstrous appearance. Some, however, believe that these statues are more than just the product of human imagination. In 2017, several sightings were made in the Spanish town of Santa Maria del Aguila, where residents believed that they were being visited by a very real living gargoyle. One witness was woken up by the sound of huge flapping wings. The sound was followed by a horrid, inhuman scream. Looking outside, the man saw a huge creature with a stretched head and a short beak. It looked as though the creature was as heavy as stone, struggling to fly before finally disappearing into the night, leaving behind it only questions and nightmares. And number 1 is the Arizona Demon. Most encounters with flying cryptids result in strange descriptions, but in one particular instance, a chilling photo was captured. This strange creature was seen standing by a road in Arizona. Its dark, shadowy form included huge gargoyle-like wings on each side of its humanoid body. Looking at other objects in the photograph, you can clearly see that this creature was massive, nearly as tall as nearby streetlights. While many believe that this creature is some sort of animal, it's understandable that some have provided a more otherworldly interpretation. The giant winged figure looks like something straight out of hell, and so some have labeled this the Arizona Demon. Various accounts persist that this entity haunts the area, and should you cross paths with it, you will be lucky to escape with your mortal soul intact. Thank you to everyone for subscribing, and a special thanks to all of my channel members, especially the ones you see on your screen right now. All of you help keep my channel going. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.